Hi everyone, today we are going to see the final part of the forensic audit chapter, that is ethical consideration and code of conduct in forensic audit. Okay, what is ethical consideration? Okay, first we are saying the ethical issue. If there is any ethical issues in the business, can be a difficult challenge to navigate for any business owners. Okay, if ethics means what? The moral behavior, what is right, what is wrong. We should know, we should differentiate. So we doing right things in a moral way is ethical. If there is any ethical issues in the business, can be a difficult challenge to navigate for any business owners through some law exists to regulate employee behavior. So though some laws are exist, here there is some laws are there to regulate employee behavior, then also these alone do not fully prevent the unethical practice. That only cannot prevent the unethical practice. Still unethical practice are happening. So the ethical issue is a difficult challenge. Okay, the business must promote contact based on integrity and trust among employees, that employees, customers, creditors, that is their stakeholders. The business must promote the contact means the behavior, the character based on integrity means doing the things, a strong moral principle, having a strong moral principle, having honesty to, through strong honesty and also strong moral principle, holding a strong moral principle, that is called integrity, and trust among employees and also their stakeholders. Okay, accommodating diverse perspectives and background is vital as it is empathetic to decision making that aligns with core values. Core values means the values we are adapting in our business. The values means the ethical values or moral values in decision making through in our behavior. What are all the values we are keeping? That is called core values of the business. Okay, we should accommodate diverse perspective means all the opinions. Okay, the diverse perspectives and background is vital, and empathetic means sharing the feelings of the others, that is called empathetic to decision making. So that aligns with core values. Okay, compliance and governance of an organization is consistent with their core values. Okay, compliance we know what is the compliance means, regulations, and governance means corporate governance and everything of an organization should be consistent with their core values. Core values means the total moral principles of their business. The core value that should be consistent with their business. The compliance, regulation, and governance of an organization is consistent with their core values. Okay, now we are saying about harassment and discriminations in the workplace. If there is any harassment or discrimination in a workplace, leads to, as all we know, leads to severe financial and reputational damage. The name of the organization everything will collapse if there is any harassment or discrimination occurs in the workplace. It's essential for business to create an inclusive environment. So it is very essential for a business to create an inclusive environment. The law enforced by US Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. To overcome this, there was a law enforced by US Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. In that, what included in that means age. Here, the age production for employees aged 40 and above. Okay, the productions for employees age is more than 40 and disability, reasonable accommodation for physical or mental disabilities, equal pay, ensuring fair compensation regardless of sex, race, or religions. Okay, there is no partiality, ensuring the fair compensation. Pregnancy, providing reasonable accommodations for pregnant employees. Race and ethnicity, equal treatment across all races. Okay, religions, accommodating employees' religious practices. Sex and gender identity, the consistent treatment regardless of sex or gender identity. Equally treat both male or female or all the gender identity, they have to treat it equally. So that is consistent treatment. And health and safety in the workplace. Okay, now we are going to see about the health and safety in the workplace. As regulation stipulated by Occupational Safety and Health Administration, employees have right to safe working conditions. Employees are having a safe working conditions. Okay, that is their right. Okay, in 2018, 5,250 workers in US died from occupational accidents during in their workplace, during their work. They and work related due to work related disease. This is completely related to their employment. Okay, because of that, this much employees, this much workers died in 2018. Okay, uh, in that top 10 most cited violations were, in that top 10 most cited violations are fall protection, we know, ceiling, unprotected sides, edges and all. Okay, scaffolding means nothing but during a construction work the workers are having some supporting structure made up of wood poles, wooden poles, that is called scaffolding. So we have to careful with the scaffolding, how much weight or how much it is resistant to the maximum weight, like this called that is production. And hazard communication means they should know about the hazardous chemicals, they should have the knowledge classifying the harmful chemicals. Respiratory protection, they should have a respiratory protection. Next thing is lag out and tag out. Lag out and tag out, that is called controlling hazardous energy such as oil, gas and all. Okay, and ladders we know how we should be very safety with the ladders. Machine guarding, powered industrial trucks. Okay, powered industrial truck, electrical wiring method, through electrical there is lot of fun safety conditions are there. General electrical requirements. Okay, next thing is psychosocial risk. Apart from the physical risk, there is some psychosocial means mental health concerns, that is psychosocial risk. What is the health and safety concerns extend beyond physical injuries. The International Labour Organization reports rise to psychosocial risk, the work related stress and mental health concerns. Why this stress are happening means factors such as job insecurities, high demands, effort reward imbalance. If they are putting so much of effort but there is no reward, so that in that condition stress will happen. Low autonomy, these are all the conditions due to that stress and mental health should take into concern. This is called psychosocial risk. Next one is whistleblowing or social media rants. Okay, whistleblowing we know, the person who are taking an issue in the public forum, it's called whistleblowing. The employee contact on social media can influence their employment status. What if you are posting something in a social media which is against your organization, means you can work freely in your organization or not? You cannot, na? That is called social media rants. Okay, a negative post about working conditions might be is not punishable. You are posting something in your social media page, but that is not punishable. But if it is actively harms the business of your organization, it could be punishable. So we need to distinguish at what stage it is punishable or not. Okay, in that there is some unclearness is happening. For example, the cases like Help employee who was fired for criticizing working conditions highlight the gray areas in social media ethics. Okay, in social media, one employee of this Help has posted something regarding the gray areas. So because of that, she got fired. Okay, the ambiguity means there is no confused decision. Okay, we should not have a proper clear decision. Okay, the ambiguity of a case, whether her post was justifiable, whether the post is justifiable or malicious or disloyal conduct or not, shows the importance of implementing clear social media policies within an organization. So because to overcome this, okay, because you are posting something, but if it is not affecting the business of the organization, means you should not be punishable. If it is affected, means at what kind of punishment you will get. This kind of things we has to policy, it has to implemented in the organization. So clear social media policies within an organization. So we implementing the clear social media policy within. This is one of the threat, whistleblowing or social media rant. This one illustrates the need for, so this ethics, how whether it is ethical or unethical, for that we need a policy. This one illustrates the need for comprehensive guidelines that define acceptable online behavior. How much we can behave in the online, how much we can do the level, okay, the online behavior and whistleblowing. So this one illustrates the need for comprehensive guidelines. Okay, ethics in accounting practice. Okay, any organization accounting practice, now we are going to see the ethics of accounting practice. Any organization must maintain accurate bookkeeping. Okay, they should have a proper bookkeeping. In previous videos we saw in Enron, they cooked the books because of that they mislead the investors and every stakeholders of the organization. So it will mislead the everybody. So we should have a accurate bookkeeping. If you are cooking the books, it's unethical practice and became a matter of concern for stakeholders later on. Okay, in corporate scandals we have seen how they are cooking their books, because of that how much consequence they faced. So the ethical practice in accounting is very, very important. Non-disclosure and corporate espionage. What is the meaning of this thing is, when intellectual property is stolen. If in an organization is intellectual property is there, it is stolen, or private client information is illegally distributed, means that is called corporate espionage. Okay, this is done by whom? Mostly it is done by the employees of the organization, whether it is current or both or former employees. This risk is present with both current and former employees. Technology and privacy practices. Okay, how to maintain this? Due to upgraded technology available in market, today's market, there is so much of technologies can be available. So that through that technology they can now monitor the employee. The employers can now monitor the employee activity on their computers, what they are doing in their system. And company provided devices, what they can, through the technology, through the softwares, they can able to monitor what the employee is doing. So because of this electronic surveillance, it's meant to ensure efficiency and productivity. Through that they can maintain the efficiency productivity, but it is questioning the privacy of the employee. Privacy violence, it is often comes dangerously close to privacy violations. Okay. Ethical issues in business. In business, what are all the ethical issues? Avoiding ethical issues in business always starts with top management. Okay, top management should avoid the ethical issues. So it is start from top management. They should collaborate with accountants, maintaining transparency and honesty in financial reports. Making sure organizations and employees alike are always doing the right and ethical things. Whether the employees and the organization should sure whether they are doing the right thing and in the ethical way or not. For that they have to mainly take into consideration. Okay, next one is auditors. For auditors, what are all the ethical standards? Okay, the principles laid out in the code of ethics are also known as fundamental ethical principles. The auditor is required to assure all such principles are fulfilled. Okay, the principles in the code of ethics, that is fundamental ethical principles. The code of ethics, that is called fundamental ethical principle. Auditor is required to assure all such principles are, the auditor should assure whether it is fulfilled or not. The fundamental ethical principles are fulfilled or not. They have to assure it. It should fulfill it. The fundamental principles means honesty, integrity, objectivity, professional competence, due care and professional behavior. While carrying requirements of engagement, auditors may face situations. Okay, while they are taking a engagement means they are taking a project of auditing. While during those times, they may face situations which will not able to fulfill the requirement. They cannot fulfill this requirements. Such things are called threats. That obstructions are called threats. There are following are the threats. There are 5 threats. It's in our institute material. First one is self-interest threat. Self-interest threat means this can arise when auditor holds a direct or indirect interest in the client's affair. In an organization, auditor is holding a direct or indirect interest means he cannot able to do the auditing in an independent way because he is having some interest on them. So he cannot rectify or identify the mistakes in the book. That is called self-interest. Due to their interest, this threat is arising. And advocacy trust. Advocacy trust means arises when auditor is involved in promoting client. He is involved in promoting a client. If there is a client, he is promoting. The auditor itself promoting the client. He is engaged in an activity which has been supported to the client. Some activities are there that is in support of the client. So in that also the auditor is engaged, means that is called advocacy. He is doing advocating for the client. How can he do the free and proper fair view in the auditing? So that is called advocacy threat. Intimidation threat. This means threat of losing a client. This is especially when the fees is substantial. Okay, the auditor is here, he is having some financial issues, so he needs a lot of money. So if he is engaged in a job, okay, he is engaged in the jobs. In that auditing, he is finding something. He is questioning the client. Because of the questioning and queries, the client will get unhappy. Okay, so the auditor may not be willing to make client unhappy because he need fees. His fees is substantial. Okay, by raising queries. So in that kind of situation, because he need money, so fees is substantial for him. So in kind of situation, he don't want to make his client unhappy by raising queries. That is called intimidation thread. And two more threads are in that is familiarity thread and self-review thread. Okay, self-review thread means, what means? A self-review exists. Auditor is auditing in his work. Our work is done by the same firm. Okay, if there is a reconciliation or statement which was prepared by the same auditor, who is doing the auditing work? Okay, he is self-reviewing his work. So okay, he will accept any mistake in that work because he only done that work. He made that reconciliation. Okay, if he will if any mistake is there, he will accept it or he will report it? No, because he only done that. So self-review thread will be there. Familiarity thread. Familiarity thread exists if the auditor is too personally close with the employees, officers or directors of the client. He is close to the client or employees of that organization, director of the organization. Means due to the familiarity, he cannot make a fair and true and fair view. Okay, that is another thing. These are all the threads, obstructions or threads. Okay, next one. Now we are going to see the ethical risk, how we are going to reduce the ethical risk. This is the next heading. Okay, how to reduce the ethical risk? Okay, there are 5 things. Through these 5 things we can reduce the risk in the workplace. Okay, first one, honestly assess the needs and the resources. Okay, establish a strong, we can see it elaborately. Okay, establish a strong foundation, build a culture of integrity from top down, keep a value focus in every moments, re-evaluate and revise as needed. Okay, first one, honestly assess needs and resources. Okay, how to honestly assess the needs and resources? By answering the following questions, we can honestly assess the needs and resources. What are all the common ethical challenges at workplace? By answering this question, we can honestly assess the needs and resources. Like that, these questions. What are all our greatest areas of risk? What values are important to our companies and its employees? What values are necessary for our business, our work in particular? What ethics and compliances resources will be most beneficial for employees? In developing our code and values, which groups' input is necessary? Who would be helpful? By answering these questions, we can honestly assess needs and resources. Next one is strong foundation. Okay, strong foundation. The following activities will be able to establish a strong foundation. Following activities. What are all the activities? Training on the standards, availability of company resources, means to report potential violences confidentially and anonymously, performance evaluation of ethical conduct, systems to discipline violators. These are all the activities will be able to establish a strong foundation. Next one is develop a culture of integrity. Okay, how to develop a culture of integrity? Integrity means strong, having a strong moral values and a strong moral behavior, adapting a honest behavior or moral values, moral principles. That is called integrity. On oneself is having this honesty, means that is called integrity. There are several things leaders should do help promote a strong ethics culture. Okay, take about the importance of ethics. They should take the importance of ethics. Keep employees adequately informed about issues that impact them. They should inform their employees. They should keep on inform their employees about the issues. If any issues happen, how they will impact the organization's business and everything. So they have to inform it. Okay, uphold promises and commitments to employees and stakeholders. If any promise or commitments to the employees or stakeholders, they should uphold it. Then only they have to fulfill it. Acknowledge and reward ethical conduct. If a person is acting in a proper and ethical way, it means they have to acknowledge and reward it. Sorry. Next one is hold accountable those who violate standards. Hold accountable. They should hold the accountable those who violate the standards, especially leaders. If a leader is there, he violate the standards means they should hold accountable. Model ethical conduct both professionally and personally. When it comes to, made ethical conduct both professionally and personally. Personal and professional, both sides, should be ethical conduct. When it comes to ethical leadership, there are two key things to keep in mind. Okay, ethical leadership means two things should keep in their mind. That is, character is paramount. Leadership happens at all levels. In all levels, leadership quality should be there, and character is the paramount one. Okay, next point is keep a value focus. Okay, this one is important to reduce the risk. The corporate values should come into play and be reflected in multiple processes that derive that everyday life of the company. Okay, the corporate values, I already said the corporate values means how the organization is making a decision through the honest behavior, through moral values, and how they are keeping the moral values and honesty in their business. That is called corporate value. That corporate value should come into play and be reflected in all processes that derive everyday life of the company. Okay, everyday life of the company. That is HR policies, how the HR policies and its implementation, how the reward system should be, how they are hiring, how they are retaining the employees, performance management and evaluation, promotion decisions. These are all the value focus. Okay. Next one, the primary challenges company face when implementing an effective ethics policy. What are all the primary challenges a company will face if they are implementing an ethical policy? First one is resistance from employee. Why? The employees may not welcome. The employees will not welcome. If they are framing some ethical policy in the management, they may not welcome because they will have a fear of losing the job. If they are not able to follow the ethics properly, the policy properly, because of that they may lose the job. So because of that fear, they are not ready to welcome it. That is resistance from employees. Next one is high cost of training and implementation fees. Okay, through implementing ethical prince policy, they should spend so much of cost and implementation fees. Though it is not looking like a very minimal one, but formal implementation process become too costly. Okay, overall view it is we can think it is minimal, but formal implementation process become too costly. This include training cost as well. Okay, due to that, this is the one of the challenge. And inability to determine the ROI of ethical policy. They are implementing some ethical policy. What is the ROI? What is the return of investment? ROI means return of investment. So they cannot able to determine, inability to determine the ROI of ethics policy. The management and leadership of the organization fail to realize the benefits of implementing ethical policy. They cannot able to realize. So when if they are not seeing no immediate advantage, okay, if they see no immediate advantage, there is no immediate advantage means because it takes so much of months or years to come, okay, then only it will get properly implemented. But they are saying so there is no immediate advantage, they become careless about it. After that they become, oh, there is no advantage, like that they will becomes very careless. These are all the primary challenges the company will face while implementing the ethical policy. Okay, now we are going to see the important topic, that is code of conduct in forensic audit. Exam point of view, this is very important. Okay. The code of conduct for certified fraud examiners given by Association of Certified Fraud Examiners to act with integrity and to perform their work professionally. It was given by association. Okay, what is the code of conduct for certified fraud examiners? It is given by Association of Certified Fraud Examiners for to act in integrity and to perform their work professionally. Okay, here there is some standards are there. There are three standards, I think. Three standards. One is standard of professional conduct, next one is standard of examination, and the final one is standard of reporting. Okay, first one is professional conduct, next examination, third one reporting. Under each topic, there are some points. Okay, subheadings are there. That is for professional conduct, integrity and objectivity. Okay, the first important point is integrity and objectivity. The CFE, that is Certified Fraud Examiner, CFE, shall not sacrifice integrity. He should not sacrifice the integrity. Integrity, okay, I already explained what is integrity. SPA shall investigate and declare conflict of interest. If there is any conflict of interest in the organization, they should investigate it and declare it. CFA shall maintain objectivity. He has to maintain the objectivity. Conflict of interest I explained in the previous videos. Okay. CFA shall maintain objectivity. CFA shall protect reputation of the profession. They have to keep the good name of their profession. CFA shall not make any false statement. They should not make any false statement. The report should be proper. Professional competence. Okay. The CFE shall not accept assignment where competence is lacking. If they are going to accept a project in that their competence is not proper, means they should not accept it. Okay, that is the professional competence. CFE shall continuously try to increase their competence through proper learning and training. They should increase their competence and effectiveness of their professional services. So they continually try to increase their competence and effectiveness. Okay, next one is to due professional care. They should be very careful in their profession. They exercise due professional care in their service. Conclusion shall be supported with evidence. How they can make it? If they are reporting something, means it should supported with evidence. The fraud examination should be properly planned. They should examine this examination. The fraud examination should be properly conducted. The work performed by others should be properly supervised. If there is a team, means that should be properly supervised. Okay, these are all the due professional care. Next one is understanding with the client or employees. An understanding must be built up between the CFE and the client. Such understanding must be revised whenever there are some changes. If there is any changes, they can revise their understanding. And next one is communication with the client or employees. Significant findings must be immediately reported. If anything they are finding that is very significant, means that is very important, means they should report it immediately. Final one is confidentiality. Under professional conduct, final one is confidentiality. CFE shall not disclose privileged info obtained during the course of work. In their course of work, they should not disclose the confidential matters. Okay. Next one is that these are all about standard of professional conduct. Next one is standards of examination. How to maintain the standard in examination. Fraud examination should be conducted in a legal and professional and through proper manner. The priorities must be established before commencement of examination. Okay. Before commencing itself, they should know what are all the period things. Okay. To which thing we have to give the priority, like that they should establish. CFE should be at least for the possibility of conjecture, unsubstantiated opinion. Unsubstantiated opinion means opinion without evidence. If there is any opinion is there, but there is no evidence, they should alter it. Okay. Evidence. Okay, under examination, second one is evidence. Effective control and management must be established for documents, data and other evidences. They are collecting evidence, means documents, data, means they should have a effective control and management for that. Documentation must be depending upon need and objective of client or employee. The documentation is dependent on the need and objective. what are all the need, how the client, in what format, in what format they need it, what as per the objective of the client, the documentation must be there. Next one is standards of reporting. How what kind of standard they have to maintain in the reporting. General reporting means the report generally if they are doing means oral or written. There is no standard format of report. There is no standard format for general reporting. The report should not be misleading. The main thing is it should not mislead anyone. The report content should be based on the evidence that is sufficient, that the accord for that report the enough evidence is there, then only based on that only they should report. Legal guilt or innocence of anyone should not be reported. Legal guilt or innocence of anyone should not be reported. Okay, now that this is about code of conduct, still that's code of conduct. Now code of ethics for CFE. Okay, for certified fraud examiners, what is the code of ethics? Demonstrate commitment to professionalism. Okay, they should have a proper commitment to their professionalism. Shall not engage in unethical or illegal activity. They should not involve in unethical or illegal activity. Highest level of integrity. They should have exhibit a higher level of integrity. Compile with lawful orders of court. Okay, court orders. They should compile with the court orders. Obtain evidence before any opinion rendered. They should obtain the evidence before any opinion rendered. Maintains clients' confidentiality. They should maintain the confidence of the clients. Reveal or material matters in report. They should reveal all the material matters in the report. Strive to increase competence and effectiveness. This already in the point. Strive to increase their competence and effectiveness. Continually they have to improve their effectiveness. Okay. The CF's 3 essential roles are identifying evidence of fraud. They have to identify the evidence and fraud. Conducting interviews and writing reports. Proactively evaluating the fraud risk of a business or organization. Okay. Next one is professional opportunity. This is the final topic of the forensic audit. The increase in cyber crimes, regulatory failures and the recent collapse of cooperative banks highlights the urgent need of forensic audit. So these are all the main things highlight the urgent need for forensic audit. In that what they do, fraud detection and prevention, that is the main motive. Essential for investigating and addressing actual and anticipated fraud means the fraud which may happen in the future, that is anticipated disputes or litigation. Okay, they have to investigate and addressing. Many organizations are now establishing dedicated forensic accounting departments. In organization itself nowadays establishing an accounting departments, that is forensic accounting departments. Like accounting departments, now forensic accounting departments also establishing in all organizations. Forensic audit has become so familiar this day. Nowadays it is so familiar, and for that the special credit goes to Mr. Vijay Mallya, Mr. Nirav Modi, and rising non-performing assets in state-owned banks. So due to this, forensic audit becomes so familiar through them, and non-performing assets in state-owned banks. Prerequisite of skillful forensic accountant. What are all the skills a forensic accountant should have? Maintain a high degree of professional skepticism during investigation. They should have a professional skepticism and immense knowledge of financial aspects. They should have an immense knowledge of financial aspects along with the good understanding of internal financial control. In the organization, what is the financial control? Along with that, they should have an immense knowledge of financial aspect. Then only they can able to identify the weak control and also can easily help to catch out the areas where fraud can be carried out. Then only they can able to catch out the areas where the fraud can be carried out. So for that they need immense knowledge of financial aspects along with good understanding of internal financial control. Okay, these are all about professional opportunity. This is the end of forensic audit chapter. The part 3 videos, part 1 and part 2. This is part 3. This is the final video. So forensic audit is completed. Okay, please subscribe my channel. Thank you friends, and you will get the other videos in the description. The link is in the description.